Computers. My name is Prince Armstrong of Armstrong Computers. I'm going to take you through this course series. This course is going to emphasize on that is more or less how to use SQL in Microsoft Access. So with this course, we are going to look at how to create some series of tables. But today, our focus is going to be on how to use SQL command in Microsoft Access to perform calculation. Without wasting my time, let's get started. So I'll then load my Microsoft Access. So as you can see, I'm using Microsoft Access 2013. So I just go ahead and double click on it. So this is it here. So after that, I'll go ahead and click on blank desktop database. So I'll click on it and I'll go ahead and give it a name. So a suitable name, of course. So the name I'm going to give it is going to be engineers. So let me make it engineer's salary. So engineer's salary. So I'll then click on the browse here to select the location where I would like to save my database. I'll click on browse. Then I'll specify the location. So with this, I'm going to then save it on my desktop. So I'll select desktop. Then from there, I'll create a folder, which you can see I already have engineer salary here already. So what I'll do is I'll create a new folder. Okay, let me name this one engineer. Let me name it engineer one. So I'm going to name this engineer one. So after that, I'll go ahead, right click here, click on new, and I'll go ahead and click on my folder and I'll call this engineers. So I'll double click on this folder where I have engineers salary, click on OK to save that in. So as I just did, I'll go create the table. So I'll go ahead and then close, how do you call it, my table. Then I'll click on the create tab, look through the create ribbon under the query logical group, then I'll click on query design. So after I click on the query design, my show table will display. I'll go ahead and close the show table. Then I'll look through, how they call it, the design ribbon under the result logical group. Click on the tasked arrow beside view and I'll move to my SQL view. So then you can see that I have my select statement. I'll just close it. Now for you out there to see how the code is all about, as I just told, I'm going to create a table in my database using the SQL create statement. So I'm going to use the notepad. So I just load my notepad for you to see all the code and then code it out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the create statement. So it's going to be create. Sorry about that. My create, that is nice. So create table. Okay. So create table. The name of the table is going to be engineers. So engineers, that's the table. Then I'll open bracket, close the bracket. So in between the bracket, I'll press enter. Then I'll go by saying engineers ID. Engineers underscore ID. So after that, now I'm going to make it int, and I decided to make it not now and not now, and this will be my primary key field. Then that is a press enter. Go ahead and then bring my engineer's name. Engineers underscore name, which I'm going to make it varchar. That will be the data type varchar. Varchar is CAR. And the fill size, I want to make it 25. Then from there, followed by hours worked. So as I said, our focus is to perform calculations. So hours worked, and also I'm going to make it varchar, and the full size for that, let me just do it. Let's say 3. So I need to bring my comma. Then I have my rates, per rates per hour. Then also is rates. I can make it currency because it's number, because it's money. But let me just focus on varchar, and let me do that also 3. So that is just that. So that is just that. Because now so I wanted to bring, how they call it, salary, where to get the salary of the engineers, I will then go ahead and then multiply the hours worked by the rate. But I'll not do that now. I'll show you 3 methods as to how to do this. So for as I'm done defining the table structure, I'll bring my semicolon, hold on to Control plus A, copy this. Then I'll come to my SQL here, paste. Then I'll run this, and you can see my table is here. So moving on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this query as what? As create table engineers. So I'll just save. Now let me show you. You can choose to click on view and click on, you can right click on where we have SQL query one, sorry. Right click on it and click on save, where you give a name to it. So as I just do that, right click on query one, click on save, and give it a name as what? Create table engineers. Click on OK. So the table is created. Now, as I said, I'll go ahead and close my what? My create table query. As I said, I'm going to teach you 2 ways in doing this. Now, for me to get the salary, you can choose to double click on the table to be open. So this is my table nicely. I just open. Let me broaden the columns. So this is my table I just created. So for me to then create a calculated field here, there are 2 ways, more or less 3 ways. I'm going to teach you using click to add, and also the design view, and also how to use SQL statement to also perform calculations. So first, let's look at the design views and the click to add, and also the design view. Then I'll switch to my SQL for you guys to get a whole concept. So to do that, you have to just bring the mouse pointer where we have click to add. Click on the tasket arrow here and come to where we have calculated fields. Select the data type. So data type is currency, but you know it's number, so I want to use number. Then after that, here the spreadsheet build will just display. You can see this very side where we have what? Hours worked. Double click on it and bring your operator, arithmetic operator known as what? Times, and double click on what we have rates per hour. So this means that the hourly worked multiplied by the rate will give us the salary. So go ahead and click on OK, and then the field one, just name it as what? Salary. Done. So press enter. So after I've done this, when I come here and enter my ID number like 01, press enter, and type the engineer's name like Ama. Okay, press enter, and hours work, let me say, let's say 4 hours, and let's say a rate per hour, let me say is 50 Ghana cedis or $50. press enter, you can see it will automatically multiply the rates, the hourly, the hours worked by the rate per hour to give me this. So that is another way of performing calculation manually. Now let's look at using the design view to also perform calculation. So I'll highlight on this and delete my record. So after deleting my record, I'll just look through my home ribbon. Under the view logic, I will click on the tasket arrow beside view and select design view. So in my design view, you can see I have calculated field here. Well, let me just delete it also so that you see everything. So this is it here. So for me to create a calculated field in the design view, might just, as I'm in the design view here, I will just come here and go ahead and type salary. Okay, might just type salary. Okay, so after typing my salary, I'll come to where we have the data type, come here. So in the data type, click on the tasket arrow beside the short text, look through the data types and select where we have what calculated. So click on it. Then this will display. When this display, don't be alarmed. You also to just select, how do you call it, the hours worked by rates per hour. So in between, before then, you need to bring your operator. So operator is missing, so which is the expression is missing. So you have to be times um, rates per hour. After that, click on OK. So after that, just go ahead, right click here and click on save where we have the engineers and save. After that, switch to the design view, right click here and go to where we have data sheet view, and let's enter another record, record one. And let me say the name is Joe, and let me say the hours worked is 7, or let's say 2 hours, and the rate, let's say the rate is 60. So you can see we are going to have what, 120 Ghana. So that's another way of using the design view and the click to add to create a calculated field. Now, as you are enjoying the lesson, let's move on straight by using the SQL to just perform this calculation. To do that, I'll go ahead first, I'll delete this and delete record. Yes. Go to the design view and delete this field also. And it's gone. So I'll close my table. Yes, done. So to do this, I'll just select this and then select where we have create table. Just right click on it, click on copy and paste to duplicate it. Now let's call this, that'll be fine. So let's say select. So let me say select query, that'll be fine. Select query will be okay because I'm going to use select statement here. So I'll click on OK. So I'll select a select query and then go to the design view. This is it. Then I'll take all this off. Okay, for you to see. Now I'll open my notepad. Remember, this is what we did to create the table. So I'll backspace this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say select. Now when I use select, the select first, when I click on select and I bring, let's say, the operator known as wildcard characters, and then just go ahead and say select from, sorry, from, let's say, engineers. That's the name of the table. So engineers, okay, engineers. This means that it's going to select the entire table. So let me copy this, come here and paste and run. You can see it has selected the entire word field. Remember, I did not enter anything. So when I go back to my SQL view, which I have here, which we did. So here I wanted to select some couple of fields. The field I would like to select, I'll take off my literal character. Then I'll say engineers ID. Okay, engineers ID, then comma, and I'm selecting, let's say, hours. Okay, hours, hours worked. So that is what I have here. Hours worked, because I want to know my field. So basically that is just the hours worked Okay, that is the fields. And because of you guys and press enter and go by saying hours worked, then the next one have to be rates per rates underscore per hour. So rates per hour. Then after that, now I want to bring the next field. The next wanted to bring is the salary. So here the case, what I would like to do is that I want to multiply the hours worked by the rates per hour. So what I'll do is that I will look at this and go straight by saying I'll bring my comma and bring my parenthesis, and I'll go by saying hours, which means that I'll copy this hours worked and put it here, paste and close brackets, bring my operator, open brackets again, and so multiply by this. Okay, well, let me just press enter so you guys you get it. Multiply by this. Okay, so what I want is I want the hours worked to multiply by the rate per hour, and that should be as, okay, it should be as what? Salary. Okay, that is for my salary. Salary, salary. So when I run this, it's going to then go ahead and then perform my calculation for me. So I will then highlight on it and copy, bring it here and paste. So when I run, you see here the salary is here. So when I come here now and type something like, um, let's say 03, press enter, and I say this is Lulu. Okay, Lulu. Okay, let me say, okay, that's hours. Okay, okay. I omitted one field, that's engineer's name. So let me go back to the design view. So I have this. So because on the watch I omitted engineer's name. So let me add engineer's name. Okay. Engineers underscore name. So comma, copy that. So I'll come here. You see, I made it. I omitted engineer's name. So as I omitted the engineer's name, I brought it here. So that is why when you watch very carefully, we are getting this when we write, when we run it. There's no name. So that is what I just did. So I'll just go back here, and in here, space, paste that. So let me paste the whole thing because I copied the whole thing. So paste. So I have it here. So I have the name. So when I run it, I have this. So I have ID, which is not the 03. So the name, let me call it, let's say Keen, and the hours worked, let's say, is 5, and the rate is, let's say, 20. So you can see that will give me 100. So that is how to perform calculation with the three ways I just showed you. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.